Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the famous Tesla and is the Tesla actually worth getting for your money? Before I begin, I would like to say that Teslas are widely known now and they're not kind of a new concept. And the reason being is because of the amount of years they've been out. They've been out for well over 4 years now. So people who do have them, they've clearly given their thoughts and not only that, typically if you look in any major city, they are available. So these are just my conclusions based on what I think about them and also their benefits. Definitely search for your own opinion, but I personally think that over time they will get more popular, and the reason being is because of the environmental benefits that come with them. Typically, as you may well know, the standard vehicles will fuel with oil, so to say, and the electrical vehicles are not powered by them. So the environmental impact and the also longevity with cities that use electrical vehicles is only going to compound. It's definitely a step in the right direction. Now the also the features that they've enabled as well have also been attractive to most people. I'll start by just the design, the outside of them. They're not typically ugly looking, sort of say. They look pretty standard to me. I'm more of a luxury vehicle kind of guy, but typically looking at standard Tesla, they're overall they look pretty good. So to say that it's not like you're driving something like a 1988 car or something, right? But the first benefit, and some people might frown upon it, is the autopilot mode, which is something that these newer cars are slowly developing. So essentially, if you do decide to purchase them, for example, a Tesla Model 3, the vehicle inside, you can drive it on autopilot. So what I mean by autopilot is that if you are, seated in the vehicle and, you're going down a street, your hands don't necessarily have to be on the vehicle for the vehicle to drive forward. It's definitely a lifesaver, especially if you're going on a long trip. From my understanding, they haven't been adapted towards things such as switching lanes. I know the newer models have, but for the Model 3 it hasn't. And it's The new features also on the map in front of you in the car. It does also show stop signs and street lights. So they're certainly coming along in that aspect. That it's becoming more advanced. But I think probably within the next 5 years it'll be 100% fully. You can change in, change out of lanes, probably even make U-turns, things like that. I don't think at the moment it's that advanced, but it's certainly getting to that point where it will be 100% completely just hands off, so to say. I saw one video, I think it was on Instagram, so to say, of a futuristic, so to say, Rolls Royce, where from the moment you walk into the time the vehicle leaves, there is no steering. It's just a one-click button, and that's it, so to say. So I think it's definitely beneficial. I see the advantages in it. Probably will reduce a lot of accidents. So there is a safety aspect to be aware of there with these vehicles. But as with anything in technology, I think it's going to take a lot more time, so to say. It's something to be aware of, that it is coming, but I don't think it's first off, it's not the norm, so to say. So because it's not the norm, people might be as more hesitant, so to say, to try it. Now the second one, which I found really cool, was the unlocking without your keys. So not only can you unlock it, so you don't have to carry your keys around, or even worse, have your keys get locked in the car and then have to call a locksmith or a tow truck company to try and get the key out of your car. You can just unlock it right from your device, which is really cool. And then also, if you have the Bluetooth feature on, you can actually lock. It will lock automatically without you even clicking your mobile device to lock it. So that one I found to be quite interesting. I know Apple is typically coming out with things like that as well, where what they're doing is I believe it's only for the BMW 3 Series model, but with their new iOS 14 feature, you can essentially just click your phone and it will automatically open and lock your vehicle. So once again, this is more of these futuristic models that are coming into standardization over time. But as for now, they're kind of more seen as like new innovations. But I believe with Tesla, this is something that's been going on for a while. So anyone who has a Tesla, it's something that they're more accustomed to. Now, another cool aspect of this Tesla, which I didn't quite know until today, was the fact that you can uh, release the seat down. So it's almost as if you can put the two seats back and like literally lie in your car. I've seen a few photos of people, they're just kind of lounging in their own vehicle. I don't know if this is more like for stargazing, so to say, but I certainly see the benefit there where, you can just lie down and, kind of have a moment of relaxation, whether you're out in the country, so to say, or something like that. But that is definitely a feature to have. I could certainly see it if it's coming to if you have a lot of stuff, if you're even buying furniture for that matter, and you're trying to put in the trunk. So I see the benefit there. Another example in relation to the benefit is the fact that the front of the vehicle, which is usually where you find like the engine. If you look at like luxury cars, that's usually where like the V12 is, the famous V12. But if you open the front of the vehicle, you can actually store additional items. So not only can you store stuff at the back, which is typical of most vehicles, but also if you lift the front, then you can also put your things in there. It's not as big as the back, of course, right? But it's still certainly a place where if you have additional luggage, then you can put your stuff in. Now the next one, which I think is probably the would be the biggest deal breaker for me, aside from the environmental boost, or I should say, or benefit, is the fact that you can charge the vehicle at home. So there are supercharger stations throughout various cities. There's definitely more options in big metropolitan areas. But typical, standard metropolitan area will have the supercharger cables where you can boot up your car, and the cost that you're going to save is substantially cheaper. Typically, a full gallon regular, depending on where you live, and also the model you call you're driving. So take that into consideration as well. My estimate, you're probably looking at about $40 to $50 on average a week. But with a Tesla supercharging station, then you're not paying anything. Well, sorry, you are. Let me take that back. You are paying something, but it's substantially less than you would pay. So on average, it's typically about $22. Ideally half a gallon, you'd be looking at around $11, so to say. So over a month and even a year for that matter, it is a lot that you're saving. Now, another thing too is that if you're charging at home, which is an option that many people take, depending on the accessibility to the cables, or if you want to just purchase one, then it is beneficial, because then if you go to a supercharger station, then obviously you're paying, but at home, when you're just charging it, it's not going to be any fee to you. Now, one thing I will say is that the supercharger stations will charge your vehicle faster. So that is something to take into consideration. So if you don't have in the time, or if you're at a lifestyle where it's always rushy, then I would recommend you charging the vehicle at a supercharger, even though it's gonna probably cost you money. But with that being said, all the benefits do certainly outweigh the advantages. The only thing I could see really is like the make and the models. compared to standard vehicles. There's probably typically more options. But with the supercharger, I believe if you purchased it before 2017, then any supercharger station is free. Make sure you verify that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I certainly see the advantage in getting one as opposed to not. But as with anything, it hasn't really become standard yet. That's probably why is it's not seen as adamant as opposed to in bigger cities such as LA where you have it more often. I think as the supercharger stations become more widespread, and accessibility increases, then most people are probably going to be more open to it. That's it for the evaluation. Overall, I think the advantages certainly outweigh the disadvantages towards getting one.